So, for quite some time now, at least all of this year, I've been talking a lot, and especially in some very recent YouTube videos for the Bain clan, about how we're letting go of the last vestiges of what I like to term dross, the rubbish, the stuff that no longer serves us, that each lifetime we find difficult to let go of. And so as we come back into another body, another life, we're still left with this dross that we think, this time I'll clear that, I'll let it go. I don't need to carry that with me. And of course, we've been weighed down and weighed down and weighed down. And part of ascension, of what's happening now, as we're ascending to those realms that we have never really reached before, as human beings in a physical body, at least. Now that we're getting to that level now, we're able to do this only because our lifetimes have allowed us to let go of more and more of this dross, making us what we term spiritually as clear channels of soul beings. I always say, when we're alive, we are spiritual beings living in a physical body. Everything we do in life is spiritual. And this is actually a big part of that. Because although we don't often realise it, the things that happen to us in our life that make us who we need to be, as I like to say, these things are what are helping us let go of the dross. The events that we don't always see as positive, everything that's happening to us is for a reason, and usually it's to help us, if we're on the path at least, to help us let go of more dross. Events that we think are not good events sometimes, because everything that happens to us is an event in life. You can see it as good or bad. It's neither. It's an event to help us on our journey of perfection. Of course, I always say, and I believe, only God is perfect, but we can strive towards perfection. And as we do so, we do this by letting go of what no longer serves us. We are sparks of God, sparks of the divine, sparks of, cells of unity consciousness. And as such, we have to be purer so that we can connect with that source that is perfect. And this is what we're doing now. This is what Ascension's been all about. All these years, all these millennia, all these hundreds of thousands of years have been about us as physical beings becoming more perfect. And my star being guides that watch over and guide us have always said, as well as the archangels actually, you humans don't understand life, and this is the truth of it. And I've been guided to help others and myself understand what our life is all about. And what I'm talking about now is a great part of this. The fact that we misunderstand the events in our life because we like to label them as good or bad. These events make us who we need to be. Be grateful, be thankful for everything in your heart. Be grateful that things are as they are because it's helping you become who you need to be to fulfill your life's journey. Everyone is different. Everyone's journey is different. So we can't compare with others, only with our inner self, our heart. Your heart is directly connected to your soul through your higher self. And so, it knows the best way for you. This is why our guidance has been, my wife and I, for many years now, and others, of course, stay in your heart. Everything you think about and do in your life that you live for and with, do it from your heart, not from your head. Be honest about that when you do that. So, this is not, believe it or not, the main reason for this talk today. I'll tell you what it's about. Recently, I've been looking at the world and what's been going on, especially ever since, let's say, the last 4 or 5 years, the way the world's changed, the way I've seen it or felt it's changed. And of course, so let's give you a flavour of what I'm thinking about here. I was a hippie in the early 70s, and we as hippies stood for peace and full equality, for love, not war, to make our world more harmonious and peaceful, where everyone was aware that we are all equal. There are no differences in skin colour, in beliefs, in anything. We're all sparks of God, in fact, with a divine inner nature. And we wanted to change the world by using alternative ways of living for the greater good of all, making sure that our planet could be helped to be better and safer for all those who are yet to come. It was a dream. It seemed like it would become a reality. It will be a reality. It's not that easy to see it at the moment. And when we look at what's actually transpired, it can be a bit confusing. I keep thinking, or have been thinking of late, what went wrong? Where did we all go wrong? How did we let ourselves forget all these great dreams? And I'm sure many others have thought this. As far as ideology, us as hippies, as free thinkers, people like us, would have been termed politically as on the left of politics, in the political spheres. We'd have been left of centre. Those on the right were only interested, we used to call them breadheads. Breadheads were just into making money, very selfish, never cared about anyone, only cared about themselves basically and their own life. That was then. And this is now. And I realise now what is actually happening. And actually this morning I was given a guidance on this by those that watch over me, to fully understand this better. And that is this. Humanity, which you will notice I write small h, capital U, small m, small a, capital N, capital I, capital T, capital Y. Humanity, which has unity in it, because we are really a part of unity. Humanity is like us, humans, letting go of dross, letting go of that no longer serves it. Because humanity, if it wants to ascend with Gaia, has to be lighter, has to be less full of rubbish and dross, has to be more understanding of the true way and nature of things than it is. And it has to let go of the rubbish. And one way of doing this, of course, like for us, when we're letting go of dross, the dross, let's say it's grief or guilt or pain or heartache, is put in front of us so that we can see it and let go of it. That is exactly how humanity is being affected by this letting go of dross now. So many of us on their ascension journeys have done this and are doing this to raise their vibration to fourth and fifth density. And so humanity now is lighter and is ready to make this next step of letting go of the dross, of rising up to be part of Gaia again. Because Gaia, actually, a part of Gaia has already ascended and is waiting for us to join her. And so, when we let go of the dross, humanity will rise up and ascend. It's not an individual thing, really. It's just that the individuals who raise their consciousness and ascend are helping the whole ascend. And it's funny, but a few weeks ago, like many a time over the last 40, 50 years, I've talked about, because I'm a Tai Chi practitioner, teacher, I understand the way yin and yang works. And it's a bit like this. It's not about two separate entities. It's about complementary opposites as part of the oneness. Because they're always moving. The only constant in the universe is change. And change is what yin and yang are doing constantly. We say big yang is moving into little yin. Big yin is moving into little yang. When you look at the symbol, the yin-yang symbol, it is constantly moving from one to the other. The big yin is becoming small yang, and the small yang is being overtaken by the big yin and changing. And so we have this constant change. Always change. It's a oneness, not a duality, really. A oneness that is constantly moving and changing. And understanding that is a great help in our journey at this time of humanity. We as humanity are letting go of dross. And so we're being shown the other side of the coin so that we can look at everything in a way that we didn't do before. We stayed in the left of politics, let's say, and we only were interested in the left of politics. Everything has been reversed now. The people that I used to think were my contemporaries who thought like I did seem to be more opposite to my way of thinking now. And even the other day there was something in London where people of the far right, who I would have thought were totally against what I would have wished for, were actually more in tune with what I would have been thinking. And that is because everything is being shown to us so that we can truly understand, or like my friend Harold always says, so we can truly understand our true purpose. Why we are here. So everything that is happening to humanity is to make humanity what it needs to be. We're being shown extremes of behaviours, extremes of understanding, like the different genders, the different ways of looking at things, the different ways of understanding differences, if you like. And everything's gone full circle. And for some, they would say, it's hard to make sense of a lot of it. That is so we can get a better understanding of the whole, not the bit of this. We have to see the whole of it, because we as humanity need to let go of what may have been called wrong thinking, wrong actions, wrong being, wrong doing. We should all be thinking of the greater good, of how the world can live as one, how human beings can all help each other and make each of our lives a better lifetime, a healthier lifetime. And this is how we are going to be as we are ascending now. Unfortunately, at this moment, it's difficult to see the wood for the trees. But I've been told, and I believe this with all my heart, we're nearly there. This is the last bit of dross now that we're letting go of. And the only way we're going to let go of it is by observing what is actually going on, so we can understand the truth within our hearts. I hope this makes sense. It's come to me in this way, and I wanted to record it now while I still have it fresh in my consciousness. It's all good. Everything that's happening is to make the world what it needs to be, so that everything can change. As much as it's difficult when one has lost loved ones through changes like this, or through massive events, we have to look at the bigger picture as humanity and try and understand this is one lifetime of many, and that all things are changing for the better now. Keep that in your heart as we watch the changes become the new world. Namaste.